Hey again, guys, you're back with Donrobertin, back in good old Minecraft. Um, I'm trying to do it so that there's basically my plan is to make a nice little scenic thing here. So what I'm going to do is eventually put the stairs so they're actually in the wall, or kind of one behind the wall, so that as you go down you have these little bits you can look out of, these little plateaus, little platforms where you can sort of view the scenic bits, and there'll be nice little waterfalls and things like that, and then going down to a nice little ancient sort of wooden stone temple or something like that. That's the idea anyway. As to whether it'll work, I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, last episode I understand it was a little bit sad, but there's sort of one thing I wanted to kind of talk about for a long while, and it's difficult to talk face to face with someone about it, for obvious reasons. It's just it's not a nice chapter of my life, especially when there's so much more good in my life to come, hopefully. Thank you, sir, saving the world again. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tough. I'm still on the same playthrough here. Just going through. I made myself some more picks in the little episode break. So we've got some more digging power. Stick a torch in there. So no doubt break through it again. And we got some coal, so we can make some more torches, which is always a plus. We stuck the extra stuff away in the chest for now, so we can forget about that. So yeah, what else is going on in my life at the moment? Well, I have a sweetheart, and definitely love her dearly. But that's stopping. We need man stuff. But I'm sure there's girls out there who are like, "Oh, you're so cute," and I'll be like, "Awesome." I live in a house now, actually, where there are cats, and these cats are awesome. Okay, there's 3 of them. Okay, there's an old cat which scares the shit out of me sometimes, and there is a female cat. There's 2 females and a male. Okay, and the male cat scares the shit out of me sometimes. The old female cat, I think she's 18 years old, which, when I heard she was 18 years old, I was like, no way is she 18. She's still jumping up on counters and trying to scavenge for food. But no, she's I was assured she was 18 years old, which you have to remember for a cat is pretty old. But she's spry, and she sometimes sneaks up on you when you're not expecting it. But the other female cat, who's a little bit younger, docile as anything, purrs the touch of a hand, is really, really awesome and adorable. And yeah, there's a male cat which also scares the shit out of me. I remember one night I was that stone there was dancing. But yeah, one night I was down here playing a game, browsing the internet and that sort of stuff, and all I heard in the distance was like meow, meow, which you have to realize in a completely pitch black house, when all you have is your headphones on and your music has just stopped. Okay, so nothing's coming through your headphones anymore, and all you hear is meow. It's like really, really creepy. And of course, my sweetie, who owns the cats, didn't really tell me that the male cat sometimes does this. He likes to do it with gusto. Specifically when he's like a little bit lonely. I'm gonna block myself in here eventually, aren't I? Have to landscape it out a little bit. That's fine. But yeah, he apparently does this every now and then, and nobody told me. But like, you know, why would you tell the new guy? You go to the house. So yeah, he was doing this, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I called his name, and he's affectionately called Lucifer. Okay, so it's kind of like the Omen already. And it was really bizarre because then he stopped. So I was like, okay, oop, not what I wanted to do. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. There we go. So I called his name, and he stopped. There was just silence, nothing at all. And so I put my headphones back on, and I didn't start the music or anything like that. And then he started again. He started meow, meow. I was like, Jesus, what is this cat wanting? Is it like just wanting to freak me out? Now I wasn't on the house on my own. But it was, you know, dark. I was kind of like one of the only ones downstairs, I think, at the time. But I thought nothing of it, and I was just kind of like, okay, we can deal with this. The creep factor. And yeah, it just kept going. So then again, I said, right, Lucifer, and silence. But then, right, out of nowhere, all I hear is this. I can't even describe it. It's the sound of a cat running on wooden floors, okay, and running at speed. Now, when you're not used to this sound and the house is completely dark, you do kind of get concerned when that's all you hear. You know, it was just like silence, then all of a sudden the feet start running and you're kind of like, oh my god, what's happening? And it comes charging into the room and just starts meowing. And I was like, Christ, you scared the hell out of me. And then he just sat there and looked at me. You know, he looked at me while I was just sat on the PC. And I was like, okay, this is a little bit creepy. I'm not gonna lie. And he did this for a bit, and then he just bugged off. So I was like, okay, well, fine, whatever. And then the cycle continued, so, you know, there was the whole meowing phase, and then it was just silence, and then he just ran into the room again and looked at me. And that's where I looked at the clock, saw it was, like, near enough, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was kind of like, right, fuck this shit, I'm going to bed. So I went upstairs. So I turned the upstairs light on, and I was just about to basically shut the door to the room. And I was like, oh, I left the upstairs light on. Let me go back outside and turn it off. So I opened the door again for the room. And because of where the light switch is placed, I can see directly down the stairs. And down at the bottom of the stairs, there's a cat tree. Okay, and when I sort of go outside, obviously you turn that way. And I can see down the stairs, there's Lucifer sat on the top of the cat tree. And he is just staring at me with his head to the side. And just looking at me. And I was just like, what the fuck? This cat is going to kill me. You know, it's just kind of that feeling where you get. And you're just like, what is going on? But ever since then, the cat has been my bestest bud, and he follows me around the place and whatnot. It's quite funny. Now, obviously, at the time, it scared the shit out of me. I retold the story as well to my housemates, and they all laughed at me. pretty well, because it was just, I guess it was the way I told it. Or it was just kind of like, the bizarreness of this cat, just staring at me and creeping me out. But as well, the old cat creeps me out a little bit as well, but that's purely because she can't really meow, like your average cat. This is not like a bad thing or anything. I have no wood. Where's all my wood gone? There it is. It's this, there's this. Okay. So yeah, it's like, just use that. There we go. Got enough torches to, let's just use up the charcoal. And we got a load of sticks as well for stuff, which is good. As you can see, I've got a little chest going. We should make a new shovel. New shovel. We need the sticks for the shovel. We don't need to build as many shovels, purely because we don't come across gravel and dirt that much, so makes no sense really. Let's see, we need some more food at some point. Christ, I'll have to go out and get some more food. Oh, look at that. Nice little sunset. But yeah, this old cat doesn't really meow. She just goes owl. It's the best way of humanly replicating the sound of the cat, is just to make an owl noise. And it's fairly accurate. And it is quite funny as well sometimes, where you sort of like, again, sat in a dark kind of house with just sort of your lamp on next to the PC, and all you hear is this kind of like elongated owl sound. So it's kind of like ow, but a little bit more adorable than that. So that's usually quite fun to listen to, and it's usually she does it when she's a little bit hungry, because bless her soul, she had diabetes, okay, for a cat, which I didn't even know they had. I mean, when I was growing up, I wasn't much of a pet person. You kind of have that guy at school or something that was always kind of well into pets and everything else, and he always had a dog and a dog he grew up with and all the rest of it. I didn't have that. I think it was just kind of my dad didn't really like pets. I know my grandparents and one of my other aunts had cats basically, and I think my aunt still has several cats that were sort of kittens when I was young and still living up in Scotland, and now they're quite full grown cats, obviously. But yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I never really had pets, so when I learned that this cat had diabetes, I was like, surely that's kind of like a human disease, something that humans get, But apparently cats get diabetes and kidney infections and all the rest of it. So, moved into this house, and I've been introduced to the world of animals and how they work. Luckily I'm an animal person. I say I'm an animal person, but there are some animals I don't really like. So the kind of big dogs I don't really like too much. I think that was maybe because I didn't have a good experience with a dog when I was young. Yeah, that was a tough experience, because my godparents basically in Spain, they had a big white dog. Okay, this thing was, I don't know what breed it was. Now that I can think of it, I can't really think of the breed, but it was a big dog. Okay, this thing was it was big, but it was also really really daft. Okay, this thing would, you'd make noises and it would get scared. A bit like Lucifer actually, who is also a pretty daft cat. Um, but this I had to walk the dog basically because nobody else wanted to really do it, and I was the only one around. So they were like, "Here, have the dog," and I was like, "Okay, I've never walked a dog before in my life." And they were like, "Yeah, here." So I walked the dog, and it was going fine until I got to the park, and he saw other dogs, and that was when he decided, fuck this shit. I'm gonna chase after the dogs, and I'm going to hump the living shit out of them. Of course, this made the other dog owners very, very angry, with probably good reason. Because, why would you like your dog being humped by another dog? So, because it was such a big dog as well, and I was so young at the time, I didn't have the strength to sort of hold him back, kind of thing. And, luckily I kind of held on to the leash. But this dog, clearly, he wasn't really too fussed, as it were. He was very much kind of like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to take you there. Which, as a young child, it was very scary. But, as I was walking him around, obviously these two people, this sort of, I don't know who they were. Because I was, so young, I was pretty distraught at the time. I guess they picked up on that and they were just like, okay, well, where do you live? And, we'll walk the dog the rest of the way so you can sort yourself out. I was like, okay, well, these guys are really good. Okay, I'll just follow them, because this was at a time where not everybody was screaming out danger whenever a stranger approached you. It was kind of like, yeah, you use caution, use common sense. I wasn't, well, maybe I was a complete moron at that age, but luckily I didn't ever succumb to that kind of problem. But these two guys, they helped me out. They walked me the rest of the way, and I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you," and whatnot. And they didn't want payment or anything like that. So that was one good memory. And obviously, I was in a strop for the rest of the day because I was kind of like, you made me walk this dog, and now I'm so embarrassed, because I couldn't walk the dog, and it was kind of meh. But yeah, maybe that's why I don't like big dogs. I don't know. But what was the first pet I had? Oh yeah, the first pet I had was actually when we settled back down as a family. Me, my brother, and my dad. We settled back down in England, near, sort of in the middle of England, so near Birmingham, right? For those international people out there who need a point of reference, so near Birmingham, right? And my dad had bought this house, and it came with a koi pond. Okay, so it had koi fish in it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. We get some koi fish. They look really awesome. That's cool. And it was fine for a while. But the pond was not kind of like your stone pond, or like even one of those kind of plastic mold ponds. It was basically just a sort of hole dug into the ground, and somebody put like a bin liner, and they put stones around it and whatnot. So everything was going fine, right? But as you can imagine, there was problems with the wildlife, because there was no mesh or anything over the pond, and we didn't have anything to scare away birds, because we never had fish ponds before. I don't think even my dad knew what to do with it, really. He just kind of got it with the house. And so, when we went out there to feed the koi pond, and, we got them koi pellets from the pet shop and that. We went out there, and the thing was all dirty, and we were like, oh, bugger, what's happened, So we would have to basically drain the pond. which I can't remember how we did that now, but I remember having to round the fish up with this net, and then like stick them in these big blue tubs that we got, and that was quite challenging. But having to stick them in these blue tubs, and we take them upstairs and put them in the bath. Basically, we just fill the bath, treat the water a little bit, and away we go. We just plonk them in the bath, and then we're like, bloop, they swam around the bath and whatnot. And I remember the first time we did this, my dad was kind of like, let's remember to put them back in the pond, because I don't want to step in the shower and have koi carp swimming by my feet, which was a valid reason. I can't imagine most people would want that, unless maybe if you really liked koi carp. But anyway, so we had this thing going on for a while, and it was okay. This zombie's about to spoil my parade. So we had these koi carp and whatnot, and the first time it happened, we didn't know what was going on. But we sort of went, alright, fine, well, we'll do that then. And it just kept happening. And what we found out was that there was a heron. Okay, and the heron was really, really liking the koi carp for obvious reasons, because they're fish and it's a bird, it likes fish. So that was a little bit of a pain in the ass to deal with. Once we found out it was a heron, it kept like piercing the bin liner, so it would fill the water up with muddy water. So none of the fish were being caught, and he just kept missing because he was a moron of a heron. And he just basically decided, oh, okay, I can't see the fish, off I go again. And so in the end, we kind of had to get rid of the koi thing, because with my dad being, working late and all the rest of it, he didn't really want to come back and, see the koi pond had to be all sorted out again and everything else. So, while it's sunshine, we should go to the thing. I should actually note that that's probably going to be the end of the episode here. I'll tell you a bit more about the koi carp. So, I mean, we got rid of the koi carp, right? And so we put them back in the blue tubs. Oh, God. Jesus. Blew up my stairway. So, yeah. We got rid of the koi carp. Now, this is the funny bit, okay? So we put them in the blue tubs. And my dad had a Toyota Land Cruiser. Okay? And this car was pretty good. Okay? It was a big 4x4 kind of car with, a big boot. Okay? So we put all the blue tubs and things into the back. And, driving along, I've never seen my dad take a roundabout so gingerly than when he had these koi carp in the back. Okay? He was going around this roundabout really gingerly, but obviously you can't stop the water from sloshing around. So he was like, okay, let's so we tried about the thing, and when I moved to Ireland originally, I didn't have any pets. So originally when I moved to Ireland, it was in Dublin, okay, because I was working for a company up in Dublin, basically call center kind of stuff. So nothing too fancy, and it was fun. It was entertaining. I met some really good people there, and they'll be really good friends of mine. Some of them I've kept in contact with. Some of them, unfortunately, I've lost contact with. But at the same time, it was it was good. I had a year of that and I got made redundant. I just have some carrots, I think. I'll just steal some of those and then replant those. I've got 21 carrots, that'll do. Do we have any? Oh, we got some more wheat. Make us 4 bread again at least. And we got some carrots. Oh yeah. So it was only when I moved down to Cork, right, that I decided to get a pet. And I was like, okay, what should I get? And I had a terrapin. Okay, these terrapins were deceptive. Okay, because you wouldn't have thought like a terrapin would take too much care or whatever. So my housemate at the time was like, oh yeah, let's get a terrapin, and there goes Fraps again. So he's like, yeah, let's get a terrapin. So we got terrapins, and unfortunately I ended up taking care of it. It was left because in our line of work, you can't really stay in one place for too long. So my housemate had to leave. Off he went back to England, and I had this terrapin. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll keep the terrapin. I'll keep him happy and whatnot. And it was just kind of like I had to get rid of it, really, because I had to move to another apartment. Purely because I wanted to move. The apartment I was in was very kind of annoying to live in, and I had to get rid of the terrapin. So taking that back, and it kind of, when I was taking the terrapin back, it reminded me of the koi carp, because I had the terrapin. I had 2 of them at the time because I didn't want to get the one terrapin and have him all lonely or anything. So I had 2 of them, and they were sloshing around the back and having a little adventure in the car, and I just gave him back. And it's tough. You sort of take, at the time I didn't think too much of it, but then obviously when I got back and I got settled into the new place, I was kind of like thinking to myself, oh, I'll feed the terrapins. Oh wait, I don't have the terrapins anymore. It was kind of just, it was great. Like, I had a little bit of free time, but at the same time I kind of lost that little something to take care of, and I never replaced them until I got here. And although the pets in the house I'm living in now, they aren't mine, not by any stretch of mean. I mean, there's 3 cats and there's 4 bunnies, but I love pitching in and taking care of them, making sure they got food, and cleaning out litter boxes and all the rest of it. I mean, you say that to most people and they're kind of like, ooh, clean out litter boxes, such a pain in the ass. But I mean, it's not pleasant work. It's kind of like cleaning your own bathroom. That's not pleasant, but it's got to be done. And I love taking care of them, and that's where when I go and we have to get pet food. Me and my girlfriend, we go out and we get pet food for the cats or the bunnies or whatever. I'm always looking at the toy section, or always looking at the sort of add-ons, so not like leashes or whatever, because obviously getting a leash for a cat is pretty redundant. I'm always looking at the toys and stuff, because I kind of like thinking, well, be nice, play around with them, and I do play around with them. The male cat, Lucifer, he loves the laser pointer, that's for sure. He loves that laser pointer. But yeah, I do. I love the cats, I really do, and the bunnies as well. Like, I mean, obviously you can't really interact with bunnies too much. But it's fun, you know. I get a lot of enjoyment out of the cats, even though they're not mine. I still enjoy the heck out of them. Um, but yeah, that's my pet stories basically. I'm gonna call the episode here. I think I've run out of pet stories for me. For now, anyway. I'll probably come up with a few in a short while. But yeah, thanks very much for listening. If you're new to the channels, or even if you're old to the channels, you've already experienced it. You know what the channel's about. You know it's all about having fun while playing games. Check out some of the other videos around the place. I know some of them may not appeal to you, like maybe you don't like racing games, so you won't look at the F1 one, but give it a try. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Maybe I'll make it enjoyable for you. So when I, do a new game or whatever, you might not see it kind of like the other LPs where they kind of do, big series or whatever. I just kind of randomly just do episodes and then whatnot. But if you do want to see a sort of regular series, or you want to see a game being played, or you want to buy a game but you're not sure, like whatever, just let me know. You can let me know in the comments, send me a private message, whatever like that. You can also hit the like button as well. Hitting the like button is quite helpful. It helps spread the word of the video around and everything else. So if you do like the video, give it a little like. If you want to subscribe because you're new to the channel, then subscribe away. I hope you enjoyed the little story of the pets, and I'll see you in the next episode of whatever I make. Bye bye.